Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Friends Talk Tools series. I'm Valentina. I'm your host, and on behalf of TalkBase, we're really happy that you've come to join us for another one of these events. We've been doing these Talk Tools, sorry, I keep getting that mixed up every time, every single month for the entire 2024, and we have events still going for the rest of the year. Every single month, a different person is going to come and speak about a different tool that is not necessarily a community tool. However, it could help you be more productive in your community building tasks. So today, I'm excited to welcome someone up who's going to come and talk about a data visualization tool called PowerBI. And Emery's here to talk about it. Welcome, Emery.
Yeah. Thank you, Valentina. Thanks for the introduction. So, my name is Emre, and I've been living in Prague since 2021. And my relation to the community relations actually started around that time. And now I'm leading an NGO in Czech Republic for to create some collaboration between two nations and technology professionals. It's called Czech-Turkish Technology Professionals Association. And since then, we are using TalkBase and tools and also additional tools to help us navigate on this challenge, like grow our community and also iterate, basically iterating day by day to improve our events and application around in the domain. So basically, we are a small community right now. And we are only able to do some events, mostly networking events, and also some coffee talks around the technological subjects. So that's it. And today I'll present how we can benefit Power BI from data preparation to data visualization. And I do have some dummy data for an example, small community like us, to how to benefit it in Power BI. So I'll be watching the chat, so feel free to ask while I present my deck. So let's keep this. Let's start this one. So that was a little bit about me, and I do professionally. I work as an analytics engineer. A little bit of a overview. Maybe you are. This is a new title, recently, let's say, popular. And basically kind of full stack position in data, where we deal with data engineering tasks and also data analysis tasks, and in between, and all kind of full stack data position. So what is Power BI? It's actually listed as complete reporting solution that offers data preparation, also data visualization. Somehow, if you're engaged and have that, let's say, team plan for distribution and management through its development tools, and also it's online. So if you are really just started with Power BI and really newbie, after the installation, you get a nice recommendation from the tool itself about an intro, what is Power BI, and it's like a really basic training program, almost like half an hour you can do it, and you can learn about how to use it, what kind of things that you can achieve with Power BI, basically. And it has three sections, I'm going to say. Like, you are doing most of the job in the Power BI desktop, but there is also Power BI service that you can publish it, and also you can access it via browsers or mobile devices. The flow of Power BI is usually requires connecting to some sort of data source. This can be an Excel file, this can be a CSV file, or some database, or anything that is listed in Power BI data connectors. Or even you can extend it with the advanced use of APIs. You can connect any API to retrieve some data from that. The next step is usually transforming and modeling it in the same environment. So creating, like, let's say, star schema for the relations in the models or tables. And on top of that, you can create beautiful visualizations and insightful reports. The next part is publishing it. You can use it or for only yourself, and either publish it as export it as PDFs or some screenshots, but you can also share it as live dashboards for anyone in your team. And I think that's the distribution part. And when I say Power BI, it has actually two building blocks, semantic models and visuals. The semantic models falls into like the ETL process mostly, where you gather data and create that model. And the other part is the visuals part, where you create some tiles of visuals to create reports and dashboards. And here's an example from the official Power BI site. So Power BI has really nice selection of like visuals, and also option to extend it with custom visualizations. It can be from marketplace, or even you can develop your own visualizations in your organization. So there are two ways to install Power BI Desktop. You can directly go to website and download it, depending on your system settings, or you can directly get it from Microsoft Store. And in terms of like licenses and how to use it, it's free mostly if you're a single user. But if you'd like to get more of Power BI, there's a pro version of it, and even enterprise plans, which provides more integration in the Microsoft ecosystem, so you can do way more compared to free version. And after this quick introduction, I'd like to switch to demo part, where I'm going to show how to quickly connect some data sets and how to create some visualizations, basic visualizations. So let me switch my screen to this mock dashboard. And when you create a blank report, there is an option to get data section here. And these are the common data sources that you can connect to Excel workbook or some data flows in Power BI service, or even some APIs usage. So for this demonstration, I've created 3 CSV files. Let me quickly show you them. I think it's around here. Let's move this window to. So when you connect to a CSV file, as in this example, this is the transform window, where you can do some filtrations or some transformations in your data set. Let's say not including blank values, you can do it here and save your data set so it will not have any blanks. Or if you'd like to concatenate some of the columns, or let's say you do not need any emails let's say private information, so you can do some masking over here, or not displaying it, or you can totally keep it on the background. And I've imported like a demo or mock members. I think I have 700 of it. And from our experiences, we have only events so far. So I've added couple of events and an attendance list for like which member attend to which event kind of. So this is the load part. Let's say if you'd like to change some of the column names, we can do it here with just double clicking, or if you need to do some filtrations again, we can do it here. Let's say for the date and stuff. Or let's say if you are just focused on the active members, we can quickly filter it here. So our data will be clean and ready for visualizations. After applying these changes, on the right side, we'll have data section, which lists all our 3 data sets. Let me just quickly, yeah, here it is on the right side. And let's say we'd like to see how many members we have, right? So the easiest way to click just on the members table, just clicking the ID, it will automatically create a tile here for visualization, and you can change it. Let's say we'd like to use some sort of card for it, right? So, and this is the count of members. As you can see, the default is count of the column name, so we can quickly rename it for this visual. Let's say total members. And considering we have a join that column here, we can see our graph or graph of joining activity. So I select this line chart, and I think I need only 2 values here. One of them is the date for x-axis, and the other one is ID, count of ID for y-axis. This is the default version of the visualization, but Power BI has the drill down option where you can see this date by year or by quarter, probably this one. Yeah, let's see. By quarter or even by monthly. Let me clear this filter. Yeah, and there is also option to remove that. Let's say if you are not interested in quarterly values, you can remove that on the visualization pane, the right side. When you click the X, it will remove it. So you'll only have year, month, and if interested, day. But I think it's also not in scope of our interest. So I'm just going to remove that one as well. So we only have year and month. So this is how we create basic visualizations here. But let's say if I'd like to have events and see attendance, and I need to tie the model. So this is the model view of Power BI, where we create relations in between tables. So as you can see, I've prepared this one already, which ties event ID from attendance list to the events dimension table. And the other one is member ID to members dimension table. So basically, these 2 tables are called dimension tables, where you have some values, let's say unique values, non-repeating, and this is the attendance list called usually fact table. So you have multiple records here, and the relation called one-to-many to create these visualizations. So let's remove this one for a second and create it from scratch. So I've already created an events page here, and I'm not sure if you're following this part, but since we don't have any relation between members and attendance, so we are not able to see which members joined our, let's say, latest event. in order to fix this, we need to connect it, and this is how we do. We're gonna drag and drop ID from the members table to member ID and select one-to-many relationship and just save it. So let's go back to report view, and now this is refreshed. So this is another page in this dashboard with multiple visualizations where I can select some events and, let's say, see where it was located and get how many people attended to that one. And also I can even select some multiple events for filtration or comparison. So these are some basic functions for filtering and interactive visualizations in Power BI. I think this covers most of the basics so far. So we have demonstrated how to connect the CSV files, get some data, where to clean it, then do some relations in between tables, and created some visualizations on top of that. And that's it. If you have any questions related to Power BI, how you can use it, what kind of metrics you are, or if you have any experience, like what kind of metrics you are following in your community, I'd be happy to learn and share my experience as well.
Thank you very much. You know what, I have never really seen or explored anything to do with Power BI, and I must admit it looks quite overwhelming. So I'm going to bring a question in first, and if you do have questions in the chat, please put them in, or if you'd like to raise your hand, you can obviously come off of mute and ask the question. But for somebody who is jumping into this for the very first time, what would you suggest they try and explore first without having any prior knowledge? Because I can just looking at what you're sharing on your screen right now, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So
I know it's a bit intimidating, and thanks for the question. So the thing is, if you know the evolution, how Power BI come to this point, it was like step by step. But if you are using Excel for reporting, if you are doing some charts and visualizations in Excel files and distributing it on your department or team, or let's say you are keep adding to those files and refreshing each visualization, this is more advanced version of, let's say, that application. So if you are familiar to Excel, it's kind of a low learning required to adapt Power BI practices, and there are really nice documentation about this one, and also great third-party videos on YouTube about how you can leverage even basics and advanced usage of it, because it's not just about like visualization and stuff, but there are also background of it, like automation, which you don't have to add some values to your files. Like you can connect and hit the refresh and get your visualizations up to date. And but to your question, I think the visualization, like the UI is intuitive. So the best way to learn it, maybe important some dummy data and trying to do some visualizations on top of that. That might help. If not, referring back to documentation and some videos might help on that, like tutorials might help getting familiar with it. And there are many videos like what I've shown here on demo, how to generate dashboards from scratch and like do advanced filtering for a demo and dummy data.
amazing. And talking about tutorials and resources, is there a community? Is there a Power BI community that you can refer to? And what's your opinion of it, if there is?
Yeah, there's a great community behind that one. Such as every Microsoft products, I'm gonna say. I used to work with Power BI daily, not recently, not that much, but if you have any kind of let's say questions or stuck with some usage or problems, you can reach out to forums in Power BI and ask your question. And I'm pretty sure that like either third party professionals will reply that one, or if it's related to product, some Microsoft officials will reply to that one and guide you to the right direction. So that's the kind of soft moderated community led by Microsoft. But again, there are also many contents about this in like mostly YouTube and also some blog posts and etc. So really resourceful. You can see really advanced examples of dashboarding, but also let's say this kind of visualizations are not that much colorful or maybe too much data focused, but there are beautiful examples of with the better UI, better colors and representations. So and that's also great for getting some learning from the community, and also getting some ideas from community as well.
Right. Anyone got any questions for Emre? Let us know either in the chat, or you can raise your hand and come off of mute. This is your time to ask him his true opinions, advice, support, anything like that. Yes, go for it, Nikki.
I was trying to like write in the chat, and I was like, I don't even know how to explain what I'm trying to explain. So I'm very lucky. I do have a business analytics team at work that has built dashboards for us. And so I have a couple of like technical questions that are like tactical questions that I'm not sure are like an us or our data problem, or if it's a Power BI problem. But one of the things in the filters on the right-hand side, once the report is published, we've been told that it's like not very accurate to filter by date for our dashboards. Is that like the way that our analytics team loaded our data? Or is that something that you've seen across Power BI as like maybe those filters aren't the best to be used?
I mean, all the data is loaded. Filters should work as they should. So I assume maybe you have different kind of data, and we usually right now I haven't imported, but we usually in best practice we usually have some dimension table for dates, and we attach all the relations to that table, then use filters from the dimension date table to do filtration. So if there are some like issues with the date filtering, either it is filtered via the date column in that table, which is not really attached to other visuals or other queries or filtrations, or it's probably in the wrong format or something. So I might suggest, like, check the relations, use the best practices on the dimension table. And I think that's the first table that we usually create in the Power BI tables, to have a really robust date dimension table, and build on top of that the other dimensions and fact tables for our star schema. So
that's really helpful. I think like what I'm gathering from that is I just need to ask them to build the dimensions in the back end for us to be able to have that flexibility to utilize the filters.
Yeah. And also, like, the important part is also using that column or values in those filtrations as well. Sometimes cross filtering may apply. That might be the also problem. So when you filter something, make sure also you're not filtering it with anything else. So if you're just focusing on the date part, that might also be the issue.
Right.
But you can find this date dimension in the community, so it's already available there. So you don't need to do it from scratch. So it's just a
And
simple.
my second question is, we have a big dashboard with a bunch of sub dashboards. And so in the nav, when you click on like the overarching dashboard, how do you set which dashboard loads first of the like nested?
I haven't faced this
Okay.
before, so I do not have a direct answer for this one.
Perfect, not a problem. I have not tried Googling it yet, so
All right.
we'll do that.
But
Thank
feel
you.
free to reach out from like TalkBase Slack channel. So I'd be happy to
Okay.
take a look into that later.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Great. I have another question for you.
Yes.
If anyone else has questions, please jump in. So, dare I say it, but how does Power BI compare to other data visualization tools? I did a quick search because I don't know much about it, and it's come up with things like Tableau, Google, Data Studio. Any thoughts on that?
It really depends. This is a multidimensional. My answer is also multidimensional. So it really depends on your organization's tech stack. What kind of integrations you need, what kind of data sources you have, and also what kind of knowledge you have as well. Because I know like it's easy to start with, but if you are having like all reports built in Power BI, it might be a little bit overwhelming. If you're not following the best practices, if you are keeping all the things, let's say related, unrelated in the same dashboard, that might be a little bit bulky and that might create some performance issues. But on the other hand, it is way more advanced to compare other visualization tools. But is it a good thing to have an advanced tool, right? Because if your users are like, we are facing this almost in every, let's say, platform or tools we have. If your users are not really an expert of it, they might not be able to use it. And if you're not using it, what's the benefit of like pushing Power BI for the organization? So you can do something simple with like other visualization tools. I'm gonna say maybe Tableau is a nicer option if you're not really hands-on with the code, because we haven't get into that part, but on this screen, there are many ways that you can modify your data, which allows us to do some transformation parts on the tables. And you can do it by either DAX language or M queries, like two different languages. So if you're coming from database administration, like if your background from that part, if you're good with the SQL scripting, you can quickly adapt this and do more within the same environment and develop your dashboards with more flexibility. And also you can do advanced modifications or transformations in your table with mQuery, which is available here. I'm going to show you the screen as well. So this part, so you can do more transformations on the same screen, same window. So it really depends. But I can tell Power BI is my favorite environment, because not just because of the visualization, let's say, options or selection, but you can even program your own data connector to get your data from your own sources, or if there is no, let's say, connector available here for your environments, you can develop it. So most of them already listed here, so you can connect them, let's say, popular and available databases here with some couple of clicks. But the extendability part of either data connections, how to get your data, and also create your own visualizations. I think that's why it's my favorite visualization tool.
Great. No, that's a really comprehensive answer to my question, but I appreciate the detail in that. Anyone else got any questions? I know we have a few people joining us who may want to know a little bit more. If you're still thinking of questions, don't worry. I have a few more in my back pocket that I've been coming up with. The first one is, it goes back to what I said at the beginning, how like there's a lot going on in this particular tool, and it just got me thinking about teams that might use this that may need to cater to accessibility needs. And I wondered what your thoughts are around that, and how well does Power BI help with that? Is there anything that you can do within the settings to be able to cater to those that need certain settings changed? Because you've got, again, a lot going on. So yeah, it just got me thinking. What do you think?
Could you please elaborate on that one? What you mean by accessibility?
So, for example, different colors in the screen. Can you have dark mode, light mode, different like screen readability? Like for example, your screen that you've got up right now, it looks quite small to me. And there's obviously a lot of different graphs and areas. Can you customize that, I guess, is my question.
Yeah, definitely. You can change, like right now, this is I've set a lower resolution for this presentation, but I usually have much more resolution. So this is also a small space for me to put some visualizations, and you can even change the this dashboard or page dimensions. Then also you can customize some of the, let's say, titles or metrics here. Somehow customizable, so you can do some customizations, but usually there is this one here on the visualizations pane. You have format your visual part, and you can do some modifications here, like if you'd like to change font, or let's say drastically change the labels and values, so you can do it here. You can do some title changes and layout changes, and it applies to all parts. So even if you're into it, you can change this hover kind of bubbles as well. So it really depends on your visual tastes, I'm gonna say, or accessibility requirements. So bigger fonts, bigger charts, or different color schemes for your organization colors or themes and so.
Amazing. And is there any like keyboard shortcuts? I'm trying to imagine going into something like this on a daily basis and trying to navigate as efficiently, I'm not going to say quickly, efficiently as possible. Is that something that is part of this that teams, individuals could learn?
I'm gonna be honest. I used to have a work buddy which he has like extensive knowledge on shortcuts in Excel part, and I've learned a couple of tricks and got it for the Excel. But for Power BI, I don't know if like probably we have some shortcuts, but I haven't used this with shortcuts. So the ribbon is pretty much similar with all Microsoft Office tools. So if you just click the Alternative K in your keyboard, so you'll see some characters or like seconds of it. So if you just put like JF, it'll go to format pane, and you'll be able to do some things. But I'm not sure if that applies to the visualization. So for the main navigation, you'll probably pretty much have the usage of whatever you have, or similar to the Microsoft Office programs. But I'm not sure if it's applicable for visuals.
I get that. Thank you.
I do have a question for the community as well. So
Yeah, go for it.
I see Jessica is using this in their organization. So I'd like to ask her about like what's your experience so far, and what kind of dashboards you're using, like, and maybe what you love and what you hate about Power BI.
So we are still in sort of the beginning stages of learning about it. So that's why myself and my teammate Maddie, who's on this call as well, we're really sort of in the beginner stages of trying to learn more about the tool, because we use Zendesk as our community tool, and Zendesk Explore, has these great reporting capabilities. And I mentioned in the chat that we use SharePoint, so Microsoft SharePoint. We use that as sort of like our internal website for dev team, product team, sales, everyone to just go directly to a site and learn what is happening in community, access our reports, all of that. But we want to have some dashboards that makes the data a little more visually appealing. And so Power BI looks like this is going to solve exactly what we're trying to solve. So that's kind of where we're at. We're still very, very beginner stages. And I'm, if there are any, beginner courses, any sort of workshops, I was looking in the Microsoft, the Power BI community that you mentioned. I'm looking there. I'm trying to see what events we can sign up for, because we're very beginner stage.
Yeah, and depending on your location, usually there are some Power BI workshops or like events to learn more and learn from the masters of it, I'm gonna say. So keep an eye for that one as well. But also as a general advice, maybe I can share this. If you are doing some transformation on your core tables, you can do it once and publish it as a source. Then you can reuse it in multiple dashboards without doing the same steps, doing the same cleanings and transformations again. So that might also help you saving some time and effort. So keep that in mind.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Thank you.
Right. Anyone else got any questions? As Emre said, if you think of questions after this event, the TalkBase Friends community is the place to come and just share your question or your challenge that you need advice or support with. It's open 24 hours a day. So please come in and see us in there. Just checking the chat and seeing if anyone has any raised hands at this time. No one has a question. You've answered all of their questions.
That's great. So
Amazing.
thank you, Valentina, for
thank you.
organizing this series of events. So
yes, it feels like I've been organized, like we've been doing these for years. Like every month we're coming back together as a community, and it's just so nice to talk about a different platform every time. So thank you so much for being part of that. We really appreciate it. All right. Well, as I said, we've got events every single month, and next month we're back here again on September 10th, where we're going to be talking about Webflow. So if you have ever been interested to get to know more about Webflow, or you are using it and you have no idea what you're doing, come and join us. We are going to come and join us Kyle, who is a Webflow developer. The link is in the chat, so you can RSVP to that. And that's it for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. As I mentioned at the beginning, we were recording this, so we'll pop that up as soon as possible. And yeah, I will see you back here next month for another Friends Talk Tools series event. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. Wonderful Wednesday, and we will see you again soon. Bye for now.
bye.